Okay, let's talk a little shooting today here on the EJE Ranch. We're going to shoot pistols today, 40 Smith & Wesson pistols. That's the caliber. Let's look at the guns first. This is a Browning high power. Obviously in 40 Smith & Wesson, it's a single action only semi-automatic pistol designed by John M. Browning, and actually wasn't finalized and produced until after his death. I think it's one of the last pistols that he designed, one of the last firearms of many firearms. Anyway, 40 Smith & Wesson, this is based on the original Browning high power, which was in 9mm by 19 or 9mm Luger, 9mm Parabellum. This one's in 40 Smith. The 9 model version has a 13 round magazine. Since the rounds are bigger in 40, these are 10 round magazines. So it'll hold 10 in the magazine and 1 in the chamber for 11 for an initial load. It's a good solid service pistol, pretty much bulletproof. This particular pistol I've carried for years. Carried it when I was in the military. It's an older design. It's pretty heavy. This one, full up with a full magazine and one up the spout, weighs 2.5 pounds. So I'm getting too old to carry that much around all the time. And so we come here to the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. This is also in 40 Smith & Wesson. It's a polymer framed, very light, double action only semi-automatic pistol. It comes with 2 different capacity magazines, a 7 round and a 6 round. The 6 round is the smaller one on the right. With the 7 round magazine in and 1 in the chamber, the initial load is 8 rounds. And in that configuration, this pistol weighs 1 pound less than the Browning. Comes in at about 1.5 pounds. I carry this pistol in a Nate squared Lexan inside waistband holster. That's a very comfortable holster for me. It works very well. This is my daily carry piece, and I do mean daily. So those are the pistols. Let's look at the rounds. The purpose for carrying a pistol, these kind of pistols, for carrying them is primarily for self-defense. There's nothing wrong and everything right with going out and just shooting them for fun, and I do that all the time. But when I carry these pistols, I carry them for self-defense, and so I carry self-defense loads, which are hollow points. These are Winchester 180 grain bonded jacketed hollow point. Skip over those for a minute. These are just shooting bullets. These are full metal jacket, relatively inexpensive, 180 grain, good for target practice, just for plinking, and for doing things like working on your trigger pull, working on your follow through with a live, with live round shooting. They're less expensive than self-defense loads. So they're good for that. Downside to that is that they shoot just a little bit differently than the self-defense loads, so it's important to shoot your self-defense loads a lot and become comfortable with where they shoot. Now these, I'm embarrassed to say, I don't remember what they are. I just have them in a plastic bag. They appear to be 180 grain. They could be 165 grain. These are my carry rounds, Federal HST 180 grain. They're very good functioning, very good performing jacketed hollow point. And so with that little bit of an overview, we'll cut this off and get to doing some shooting.